Hey you guys, it's Brit. Tonight we're here to talk for a couple of minutes about Peter Monn. I had quite a few thoughts, so if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so I need to first obviously address an elephant that is in the room regarding me making this video right here. And it'll require a couple of minutes and a little bit of a history lesson, but I need to address this before I proceed with my thoughts. Over 2 years ago, I had a really bad take on a clip of Peter Monn that I was sent. I was sent a video clip. I reacted to that video clip, and it was my fault for dropping the ball and not doing the proper amount of research to gain additional context and take a few minutes to educate myself on the backstory of this situation. This situation had to do with a dog that Peter owned many years ago who had some behavioral issues, and unfortunately, he had to have his dog put down. I was sent that clip with no additional context of him simply just saying that, and I should have looked into it a little bit deeper, and I didn't. That was completely my fault. When it comes to the clip that I was sent, the context that I needed that wasn't included in the clip that I originally watched was that Peter actually did his due diligence as a dog owner, and he tried to go the proper steps and get this dog the behavioral help that it needed. So he did his part as a dog owner, and I think that missing that context alongside everything going on with Nikki and Dan Filippi and that situation also happening simultaneously, that should have told me, well, do some more homework, but instead I messed up by reacting and responding instead of getting that additional context that I should have received. I ended up removing the content, and instead of simply removing the content and saying that I removed the content and I was sorry, I went ahead and took the AdSense, the small amount of AdSense that I made from that video, but I did go ahead and take that and some additional funds and do a donation to my local animal shelter. I showed the back end YouTube analytics of what I made off of my bad takes, and I went ahead and showed the receipt before I dropped my donation at the shelter. I felt like that was the best way to handle the situation at that point in time. Peter Monn actually became my biggest lesson on YouTube. I learned through that context is key. And when it's available, you should try to look for it. And I was very new into making commentary, and as I said, I dropped the ball. That was my mistake. I was sent the clip from a former follower who doesn't follow me anymore, and it's interesting because she really turned out to be an interesting character. But knowing that I'm a really compassionate and at times can be a reactive, crazy dog lover, um, I went ahead and made the video, and I should have hit pause and done a little bit more homework, and I would have never made the video if I would have known additional information. I've been scared to talk about Peter, and there's been a few things that have happened over the past 2+ years that I've wanted to share my opinion about, but I have been very scared because the amount of anger and hostility that I received over having that bad take, despite the fact that I handled it in the way that I felt was best, and most of my community agreed that that was a good thing to do and a good way to handle it. There were still just people were very angry, and rightfully so. I also am a big supporter of accountability culture. That's what my channel is partially built off of. And if somebody wants to take accountability and do the right thing and use that as a learning lesson, then I am here for that. And that's what I did with my bad take on Peter over 2 years ago. I've done my best to do better and use that as a learning experience. So Peter actually turned into not only an inspiration, but also a learning lesson for me. And I've been scared to talk about him, but like I said, there have been some things over the last 2 years that I've come across and I've wanted to say something. Like, for instance, he was involved in a really tragic accident, and I wanted to leave a comment just, sending my support and some well wishes. I didn't do that because I felt like I would get yelled at by people on the internet if I left a comment saying anything on his channel. So I skipped it. And then, I continued to watch some of his videos, the ones that I'm interested in, as I do with all YouTubers. I felt like I couldn't even leave any comment, even way on down the line, because I felt like if people got wind of it, that I would be yelled at again. So I just let it go, and, I'd leave a like but no comment or whatever. And that kind of brings us to current day and what's going on. And I have some things to say about what Peter Monn is going through right now. I've talked a lot about internet safety and trying to keep yourself safe online, and kind of, instilling some things that will hopefully help you avoid these few creepy, weird people that kind of, exist on social media. Because there's a huge difference between not liking somebody and just allowing them to exist because you don't like them for a really silly reason, and it really doesn't matter because you think they're stupid, you think they're ugly, their voice is annoying, you don't like the clothes they wear, you don't like their opinion on something, whatever. Those to me are not really reasons to jump up and down and scream all the time about how crazy this person is, when it's just not that serious, in my opinion. But then we have this kind of other subset of people where it's literally only a few, and they are willing to do what these people are doing to Peter. And these things include contacting friends and family members or spouses, extended family, contacting doctors and veterinarians of the pets, trying to pull medical records or inquire about a pet's medical history, or wanting more information about medications, or contacting family and friends' employers, contacting boarding facilities, contacting former employers, simply to either get information on somebody or tell this person how much you can't stand this YouTuber because they are existing and you don't like that they're existing and making content. To take your disdain or your dislike of a YouTuber or public figure that far, I think is truly not normal behavior, and that is what Peter is experiencing right now. And because things have gotten so serious and he went ahead and shared his thoughts and his feelings around this, I felt like, if he's bringing this to his channel, then I feel comfortable speaking about this, and I don't think that I should have to be quiet forever about a YouTuber that I had a bad take on 2 years ago, because I like Peter and I respect him, and it's absolutely awful what he's going through, and I don't hear anyone else covering this. I don't hear other people talking about this. So I really wanted to be vocal and just let you guys know that Peter is going through a hard time. And even though he's taking things up with law enforcement and working with an attorney to go the legal route, it still means something to have support from people on social media. So if you guys have a couple of minutes, go ahead and go over to his channel, leave him a comment, leave him a like, subscribe if you want to. If you're not, or if you don't know who he is, check his content out. He does drama commentary stuff. He talks about a lot of beauty influencers and, people like James Charles, Tati, Shane, Jeffree Star. He's talking about Colleen right now, so if you guys are into that, you can go check that out. I like Peter, and he has multiple different channels that cover different topics, and he's very active on his channels. He's very consistent, and I always appreciate consistency from people that I watch on YouTube. But I just wanted to make this video. I know that it might seem a little aimless and a little bit of scattered thoughts, but I listened to his video and it just kind of, number one, it's super scary as a very vivid reminder that people like this actually exist and they are willing to go to these lengths to make somebody's life a living hell. And I just think it's important to be able to hold space to talk about things that I want to talk about, even if at one point in time I had a bad take, I dropped the ball, I took accountability, I tried to make things right, but I really wanted to talk about this. So I hope that you guys understand. And, you know, drop your comments down below. How do you feel? Were you a subscriber of mine over 2 years ago when that situation happened? Do you remember that? And if you're a new subscriber, well, now you know, and everything comes, you know, full circle, and that's what unfolded. But I just got like a really big sore spot for him when he was explaining this, because nobody should have to tolerate this. And if you guys want to know my small little conspiracy that I don't think really holds any weight at all, but I almost wonder if that clip that was going and being shared 2 years ago, is that tied to anybody that is involved in the current day issues that he is experiencing? Don't know. But again, he is going the legal route and he will find out everything that he needs to find out in order to make sure that these people are hopefully held accountable. But there are some really scary people that exist online, and I talk about that constantly. That's not what this video is about, but this was a very stark reminder. And, you know, it really reminded me that even if you feel like you're doing your best to not be mean, not be cruel, maybe be a little shady sometimes, but not sling mud, because Peter does all of those things. And when he makes a mistake, he takes accountability and does the right thing and tries to use it as a learning opportunity, just as I've done. Sometimes even if you do all of those things, there will still be people that are just so pissed off that you are existing on social media. And that's just the world that we live in, unfortunately. But I'm so grateful. I have a really strong and amazing community here. And I appreciate you guys for allowing me to have the space to make mistakes, because I am human and I will make mistakes. And I agree that everybody makes mistakes at some point in time. But I also hope that you guys know that I will always make things right to the best of my ability if and when I drop the ball. And I'll do my best to not do that again. And I hope that I have shown that over a period of time to my community. And I appreciate you guys. So that's going to be it for now. Go check out Peter's channel. I'll link all his stuff down below. But for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.